What's happening, guys? This is episode 54 of House Cat MMA, and right now I'm going to be marveling at the badassery of Yoel Romero. But before I get into all that, if you would just take a second to like and subscribe, maybe do a little bit of commenting and sharing, that'd be pretty cool. So, Yoel Romero just wrestled Pat Downey a couple of days ago in a freestyle match, and Yoel Romero teched Pat Downey 12-0. Okay, and Yoel Romero's 48, Pat Downey's 33. Pat Downey is not elite of the elite in freestyle wrestling, but he is elite. He's got a record of 61-40, and in the high level freestyle world, that record is actually better than it sounds like. And Yoel Romero, I want to say, is 34-11 in freestyle, but he hasn't wrestled freestyle since 2005, as far as we all know. And yes, it is impressive for a 48-year-old man to be winning any physical contest against a 33-year-old man, especially in wrestling. But that's not what I deem most impressive. What I deem most impressive is the agility he showed in there, and because at 48 you can always. You're still gonna have the skill at 48 if you keep at it, you can, because Yoel Romero, he had his over underhooks, and he just found himself at the right position at all times to hit his knee taps, his shuck bys, and shit like that. But the fact that he was doing back flips after that at 48 years old, I'd like to know how many 48-year-old men in the world can do backflips. Not many. I've never done a backflip in my life. And the fact that Yoel Romero can still get down at 48, that's not surprising. My old wrestling coach, one of my old wrestling coaches, he was 49 and he could still get down. He was a two-time All-American at Cal Poly back when they were D1. But I know that motherfucker couldn't do backflips. So, I'm not convinced that Yoel Romero is even a person. He might be a robot. You know how like on Terminator, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger looked like a guy, but you cut him open, you see all kinds of fucking machinery in him. That might be the case. It's already kind of proven that he's superhuman. The whole situation where the doctor called Dana White up after Yoel Romero fucking broke his orbital or something like that. I want to say that was in the Robert Whittaker fight, and the doctor tells Dana, he's like, "What the fuck is this guy?" And Dana White's like, "Yeah, crazy, huh? Great athlete." He's like, "No. His broken orbital, it's already done healing, almost done healing. It's healing. It's something about the tendons in his eyes are like 3 times as thick as the average man's, and that can only mean that that the Cuban, what do you call it? The Cuban training center or whatever the fuck, Olympic training center, that just proves that they had him on steroids probably when he was 13 or 14, and it's kind of made him, different. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that. Pat Downey is elite, but not elite of the elite. So, I figured Yoel was going to win that shit. But now it's looking like Yoel is going to be wrestling Bo Nickel in a freestyle match come January 10th, which that's pretty tight. And if Yoel wins that, whoever's making that noise, I don't like that. But yeah, if Yoel beats Bo Nickel in a freestyle match, I think it's going to be official that Yoel Romero is the baddest ass 48-year-old man that ever lived. But this is episode 54 of House Cat MMA, and I'll catch y'all later.